Russian activity has significantly decreased in the Novopavlivka direction, which recently ranked second in terms of the number of assaults by Russian troops. Viktor Trehubov, spokesperson for Ukraine's Khortytsia Operational and Strategic Troop Group, shared the information on Espreso TV. Currently, the focus of Russian attacks has shifted primarily to the Pokrovsk direction. The intensity of Russian attacks has always been high on this section of the front, but today, compared to Pokrovsk, all other directions simply pale in comparison. Russia's activity in the Novopavlivka direction, which was recently second in terms of the number of Russian attacks, has noticeably decreased. The Russians have become disillusioned with their idea of reaching the administrative border of Dnipropetrovsk and Donetsk regions. The completion of this task is not as close as they thought. For example, on July the 27th, there were 10 combat clashes there, commented the spokesperson. According to him, the Lyman direction remains active, with Russian forces pressing along the same lines they have long operated on, but so far without success. There is a slight increase in the activity in the Toretsk direction, where 13 attacks took place on July the 27th. Recently, there have been more combat clashes in this direction than before. All other directions in our area of responsibility are under constant pressure from small Russian infantry groups attempting to infiltrate Ukrainian lines in order to launch offensive actions behind the front line. The enemy is also constantly firing using various means, including very active use of UAVs. Trehubov noted, in some directions, the Russians are retreating. He noted that currently, Russian forces are expending a significant number of personnel, primarily infantry, simply to seize as much territory as possible in the Pokrovsk direction, east of Pokrovsk, south of Khortytsia, in order to gain a foothold in any settlement. A huge number of troops, mainly infantry, are being used for this purpose. Russian forces are trying to entrench themselves in every settlement along the administrative border of Donetsk and Dnipropetrovsk regions at the cost of heavy personnel losses, aiming to present an illusion of triumph for Russian propagandists. The goal is to demonstrate at least some real presence in Dnipropetrovsk region, or at least along its administrative border, so that all statements they have been making for nearly a month now have some factual backing, something they can show off daily. Not just fabricated footage with a flag staged at a random location, but something tangible they can bring Russian journalists to and present as a major victory. That's where a large amount of manpower is being used, in the Pokrovsk direction. However, their actions are more strategic, aimed at posing a threat to Konstantinivka and the Pokrovsk-Mirnorad agglomeration, Trehubov explained.
Russia's Vulgrad region came under a drone attack on the night of July 27, local Telegram channels reported. As a result of a strike by Ukrainian kamikaze drones, a fire broke out at an electrical substation that supplies power to the railway line. The regional governor, Andrei Bonkarov, stated that the air defense system was activated and the drones were shot down, but their debris fell near the railway, hitting the power station and causing an interruption in electricity supply. There were no casualties. Due to the drone attack, there were delays in railway and airport operations.
Да-да.
Блядь, ебать! Чё это?
Да-да.
Ukrainian forces are holding back Russia's concerted summer push to break through defenses along parts of the front line, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says. They are not advancing. It's very tough for our guys out there. And it's tough everywhere, Zelensky told reporters. It's also very hard for the Russians, and that's good for us. Russian sabotage and reconnaissance groups have repeatedly attempted to stage minor incursions near Pokrovsk in the eastern Donetsk region to film symbolic footage, such as raising a Russian flag, but Ukrainian forces have repelled those efforts, Zelensky said. It happened 5 to 7 times recently, sometimes with only 2 or 6 people. Once they tried to hold a position with 12 people, and all of them were eliminated by our defenders, Zelensky said. They're trying to make some kind of video, they're planting flags, filming, and they all destroyed by our defenders. He also said that the situation in the Sumy direction is much better than before. I think there has been normal progress there in the last month or two. According to Zelensky, the Dnipropetrovsk region is a conditional success for the Russians, because they are trying to extract information victories from it. It's like in Pokrovsk. They enter, there is a field there. It doesn't matter whether they enter it or not. There is no safe place left in that field. No one is standing there. Just people standing behind, destroying everything they can, Volodymyr Zelensky said. He stressed that, the war needs to end, and it should start with a meeting of leaders. An agenda is needed for such a meeting. They have already started talking about it in conversations with us. This is already a move towards a meeting format. So, for the first time in a long period, conversations between representatives of Ukraine and Russia have begun to include signals about a possible meeting between the two countries' leaders, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said. Zelensky emphasized that Ukrainians need the war to end, and in his view, that process begins with a meeting between the leaders. There's no other way with Russians. We need an agenda for such a meeting at the level of leaders. The issue is that we always raise this topic publicly. And now, in their conversations with us, they've started talking about it. That's already a step towards some kind of meeting format, the Ukrainian president explained.